Welcome to 521, week 5. Give me 5. All right. So, this is my favorite week. We talk about SAMR, we talk about blooms, and man, each of those could be its own week, I really think. It's one of those things where of all the things in this course, is the ones that I think make most sense for me, just kind of day to day, in every possible way. Like with you guys, right? With grad students, with teachers, with students, when I had my own students, when you have your students. It's fantastic. So one website I want to make sure you Google, and I'm not even going to give you the link in the announcement, Kathy Schrock. So she's, just Google Kathy Schrock, and then either Kathy Schrock SAMR, Kathy Schrock Blooms, and she has some really, really cool resources. Um, One of the things, if you scroll in a little bit, when you get to Bloom's taxonomy, she's kind of rethought it, where creating their cogs and gears, and so creating is in the center of this. Um, it's really cool. And then she organized apps through the new Bloom's revised taxonomy to include digital tools. So she goes through iPad apps, but the idea is, if you look at creating, what are some apps that really help with creations? Like Adobe Voice has a new name, Adobe Spark Voice, maybe. I still always say Adobe Voice. Um, but going through that, animation tools, going through evaluating and what that looks like, and what are evaluation tools, and analyzing, and how you do different mind maps and thinking maps, um, all that type of stuff. And at the very bottom, they're still remembering. It's like Quizlet for just recalling facts, um, things like that. So it is worth going through. She has it organized by iPad apps or iOS apps, Android apps, online tools, Google Suites, where you have like YouTube is at the top or bloggers at the top, where you have to, create stuff. I would also put Google Maps or Google Tour Builder in those. Those are fantastic tools. So that's a little bit about Bloom's taxonomy. SAMR is on there as well. That's one of those frameworks that is super powerful, and I think it's misunderstood a little bit. So you have the SAMR: substitution, augmentation, modification, redefinition. I did it without looking. What's up? Um, a lot of people put value as though like substitution is like lame. There's a lot of judgment that can go along with that, or is implied in that sometimes, and that our redefinition is like the pinnacle, and that's not the case, right? Like so many times, you just need a pencil and paper. You just need a Post-it note. So at National Q, I actually had a poster session, and they had a big 36-inch TV at each person's station. We just gave it to someone else, and said, we just need literally, we need a poster. So we stole some, what's it called? It's the giant Post-it note. It's like, you can't see it, but like 3 feet by 4 feet, chart paper maybe. Took that and then just turned around the sign that said sponsors and we used Post-it notes, because sometimes that's the best tool for what you're trying to do. So try not to get too caught up in this tool is better because it's modification. I think it's a good kind of gut check. Or if you look at what you're doing in your classroom and everything's substitution, like, wow, it's just a digital worksheet. That's a chance for you to kind of check in and say, how might I move this to be more augmentation or modification? So quick example for you around what that would look like. Let's look at writing a paper, okay? So no tech would be just pencil and paper, write it. Substitution would be, let's just use Notepad or Microsoft Word, so that it's the same assignment, but you're just typing it instead of handwriting it. Augmentation, the next kind of step in would be maybe Google Docs, so you can access it from anywhere, right? It backs it up. You get, even with Word, might be augmentation, where you're getting some more tools for formatting, for spell check, that type of stuff. So that's the A, augmentation. M is modification, where maybe you're doing something more interesting with it. You're collaborating with somebody, right? And doing real-time collaboration in Google Docs is hard to do, like a pencil and paper, right? To collaboratively write something in real time. And then redesign would be a couple different things you could do with it, starting to add hyperlinks. So if you don't know about hyperdocs, pause me now. Well, let me finish this sentence. and then go look at HyperDocs. Lisa Highfill has a book around it. She has a lot of website resources around hyperdocking. The idea is that you can redefine what a Word document or a Google document is by linking to all kinds of stuff and making it interactive. Because all that a Google Doc is a web page, right? It's an editable web page. When you start to think about it in those terms, it really redefines what you're able to do inside of a Google Doc. Super powerful. One thing that I did when I was teaching second grade is I had some fifth graders that were down in Irvine, Scott Bedley's class. Google Scott Bedley if you don't know him. He just had a really cool post come out on Vox, vox.com, around fake news. Super powerful stuff. So his fifth graders were collaborating with my second graders, and they were giving in-process editing. So as my second graders are typing in Google Docs, fifth graders are giving them real-time feedback, right? That just completely redefines what write a paper is. So that is an example around SAMR and what you can do with it. This week is fun. This week's a lot of fun. Don't forget that we are meeting at the end of this week, or the Thursday of this week, on Thursday, April 6th. And then a little housekeeping, we do have spring break the following week. So depending on where your spring break lands, let me know if you need some tweaking and adjustment with your due dates. The only tricky thing is making sure that you are hopping in with, it's not until I think week 6. Let me double check real quick in Blackboard. Discussion board, yeah. So discussion board is week 6, so if you're going to be gone, kind of if your spring break is off and you're on vacation, let me know. We can figure it out. I just want to make sure that you're able to join us this Thursday and that you know that spring break is coming up the following full week. So I will be on vacation that whole week, April 10th through the 16th, visiting lots of family out of town. So I will be quite slow to respond to email that week. So just try and kind of emotionally or calendaringly, that's a word now, prepare for that week just to kind of be off. So that's what's coming up. I hope you enjoy week 5. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time in our synchronous session. And happy week